Avatar, Last Airbender, or anything like that, is the fact that it is something that almost in some ways becomes work. I mean, Last Airbender, Nickelodeon series is phenomenal. Legend of Korra was very good in my mind, just a hair below. But this train wreck, the live action Avatar, Last Airbender, which by the way, I even had a problem trying to find on
the
HBO.
child's right down here. I mean, come on. Be nice.
I had to actually, I didn't realize it, but I couldn't find it. By the way, this is staying up for a little while here. Because when I looked it up on HBO Max, it does not show up as Avatar. It shows up as Last Airbender. So I'm sitting there going, I typed in AVAT, it's not showing up. And it's driving me crazy because of the fact that on HBO Max, I couldn't even find the movie we're going to rip on here.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, as far as stuff like this goes, and Brandon K has just started Clone Wars for the first time. He started with the movie, which I'm like, trust me, it gets better. Yeah, as far as this goes, Ryan, go ahead, man.
No, I mean, like I was just saying, it's having never watched the animated series of Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra or many other things Nickelodeon oriented. I wasn't a Nickelodeon person.
What?
I wasn't. Look, when they first came out with Nicktoons and it was Doug and Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats, that stuff I watched. But as it continued to grow and develop and you start bringing in a whole nother generation of people, it's like I tuned out. So I never got on the Avatar train. I know that may be bad. I know a lot of people would question me. It's like, how have you never watched the best thing to ever come out of Nickelodeon? And I tell you, I was someone who didn't have cable for a long time.
Fair.
I had my Disney Afternoon. That was on the public channels. I was able to watch it carefree. But, that's why I'm a Disney kid more so.
Well, I watched the Avatar Last Airbender Nickelodeon series on Kiss Cartoon. And then went out and bought it. But I watched frankly illegally first, and then basically made it all legal later. Because I'm just like, I'm not going to pay for this. And after like 3 episodes, I'm like, I want to pay for this.
See, I accidentally bought Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
No one accidentally buys Dragon Ball Evolution. That is still a conscious decision, however wrong it may be.
I accidentally. Because you want to know why I accidentally? Because it was meant to be a gift.
You thought it was a fan film by the look of it?
It was meant to be a gift for somebody. And guess where it went back to?
You.
It was a gift for yourself, ultimately.
No, it was a gift to my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cousin's gift to themselves was getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm. And the next day, I found that DVD right back in my own room. And I was like, did you watch the film? He was like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
How you like it?
Say what you will about Evolution. It was a bad adaptation, but it tried to be entertaining. From what I remember of this movie, going into it blind and just trying to go off the idea of, okay, well, it's supposed to be martial arts oriented. It looks a little action packed. It looks like it'll be fun. I go into this movie, I fall asleep halfway through while in the theater. Which, mind you, there wasn't a lot of people in the theater to begin with, so I didn't feel too bad. But I'm pretty sure I was snoring about like halfway through this thing.
Wow.
And then I wake up and all of a sudden, okay, everything's frosted over and, there's a big fight scene like I seen in the commercials.
The same fight scenes that you saw in the commercials, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the most exciting parts.
You're like, I saw that scene. I saw that scene. Yeah. I saw that scene. Yeah.
And everything else is just talky filler.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, listen, Last Airbender, the Nickelodeon series did have a couple of dung episodes. It did. But as a story, it was smart. I mean, one of the big differences, and we'll get started with this movie in a minute. One of the big differences, you never saw what Fire Lord Ozai, you never saw what he looked like till the 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
And there was such a mystery. And this one's like, bam, there he is right off the bat. The live action one that Netflix is doing, they've already announced Daniel Day Kim playing Ozai. So not a bad choice, but it gave away the surprise already.
Right, but I mean, at least with the television series, you're not saying it's going to be in every single episode. He may just be at the season finale. You know?
Yeah, but in the Nickelodeon series, in the first 3 minutes, you knew immediately where the story was going to ultimately have to end up. You knew how where it was going to go, but it was all about what is this guy? Who does he look? What does he look like? Does he match my imagination of what I'm envisioning? I mean, the voice was Mark Hamill. You could tell it was Mark Hamill pretty quick, but it's like, okay, what person did they draw behind that more cold, calculating version of the Joker? Not like the psychotic Joker, but somebody who basically would kill his own kids to get what he needs to get done.
Right.
That kind of mentality. What did he look like? It worked. It totally worked in the Nickelodeon version. By God, it was perfect. But here, it's like, there he is right off the bat.
And you're like, but then I think it more focused on the Nickelodeon. It's like that, and also Aang's story. Like,
yes,
it didn't got much deeper to the fact that every Avatar that has a serious final fight, they die.
Pretty much, yeah.
And this in the show, he doesn't.
Spoilers.
Well, don't they use him for Legend of Korra? Like, isn't he like the tie-in?
There is a tie-in, yes, but it centers more around his youngest son, Tenzin, played by the way, J.K. Simmons from Law and Order and everything else that J.K. Simmons has been in.
Yeah.
Because Legend of Korra takes place 70 years later.
Right.
So at this point, Aang is already dead from old age, but his youngest son is eventually, for a while, became the last Airbender himself.
And that's the old dude with the arrow on the head.
Yes.
Yeah. I just thought that was Aang aged.
No, that's his youngest son, Tenzin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was the only one to inherit the airbending powers. So for a while after his father died, he was literally also the last Airbender.
So imagine being
that weighs into
Aang and having to learn about intimate relations because no one around you of your line like told you how to have an heir.
Yeah, and
that's messed up.
Yeah, he learned all the lineage. And then when his father died, it's like all fell to him, and he was just like, Korra comes along as a new Avatar, and he's like, I finally have a chance to develop a new Airbender here. God help me, I don't want to screw it up.
But isn't Korra arrogant as heck, to be honest?
Oh yeah, she's a pain in the ass initially, and that's where it's important because she got the first three bending very, very easily. She got earth, fire, and water just like that, but air was difficult. So she never had an obstacle before until air came along, and then she had a hard time dealing with it.
Right.
And then ultimately she starts doing what they call pro bending, which is a sport there. And she starts getting her ass handed to her in this because she's limited by what she can do professionally as a sports person.
This is why I haven't watched this shit, man. It's too much lore. Come on. It's like,
no, but that's the best thing about it.
But yeah, that's what this, with Aang,
that's why man. I will not cough on people because I'm trying to make sure this does not choke me up.
Let me say the one thing I would add to this before I get started. The Nickelodeon series weighed the fact that in his case, when he found out he was the Airbender, he got scared and he felt it was too much, and then ended up, and you'll see it here, waking up 100 years later, realizing that everything he knew was gone. And basically he is partly the reason why the Fire Nation, won everything and everybody else lost because they were depending on him and he took off. So he has that guilt on top of him and the need to make it right.
So it's like Lion King.
If you want to basically take a 12-year-old kid, and fast forward him 100 years later and find out the people that killed everybody that you knew, won.
Well, yeah, instead of running away and, eating bugs with Timon and Pumbaa, he got frozen. Like Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's Matala.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what it was. But in his case, he takes it a lot more seriously. There was no Hakuna Matata when he woke up.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried his best.
It's more like Captain America where, Hydra has taken over and infiltrated everything.
And so, yeah, pretty much. So,
and I know I'm using other pop culture references in order to understand this thing that I have never watched.
It works. But, listen, you're connecting it. You're connecting the dots the way that works best for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if only Shyamalan had done so.
Oh God, never does. Yeah. All right. You want to get this thing rolling?
Let's go.
I can't wait.
I don't want to, but do I have a choice?
Hey, like I said, I
do not.
I was guilty. Yeah. 5. We'll do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Ryan has a freezing problem.
No, I got it going. I prepped it, and so now the stars are coming in. Well, okay, no, the water is coming in because it's airbending and it's a Paramount picture.
Yeah, this is the movie that I think really kind of just like killed M. Night Shyamalan's reputation.
Yeah,
when he shat all over like childhoods on this.
Nickelodeon movies.
Yeah,
from the company that brought you Harriet the Spy.
Yes, and Doug.
And Doug was a good movie.
And all the Rugrats movies.
My God, there's a lot of logos on this. Blinding.
And y'all want to know something? The theory is Doug was a racist. Doug was a racist.
Really?
I'm joking.
I don't know. Basically, didn't he have like a blue friend or something?
Yeah.
So, The Last Airbender, not Avatar. The Last Airbender. Actually, maybe I should just change that watch party. Yeah, screw it. I'll leave it the way it is.
Okay,
now I'm
so
going to
now
show you
this
why
is like
I had an
the
issue
opening
with
of the
this
TV
film.
series, right?
What's that?
I'm going to show you why I had an issue with this film.
Just one?
It wasn't purely martial arts. There were more choreographed dancing.
Yes, like The Rock's. We'll get to that in due course. So,
yeah.
Water, earth, fire, air,
Wind.
heart, by your powers combined.
Everything changed. By the way, props to Mae Whitman, who gets residuals on every single intro.
This is going to be a good film because they got words going up on the screen.
Exactly. Cinema Sins loves it. Like, more reading.
Here's the thing. Whenever a movie starts open like this, it almost feels like a bad idea if you actually have the word crawl and someone narrating it.
Yeah.
Like, Star Wars always just did the crawl and you read it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there's narration, you have something visually going along with the narration. Like, they could have done that narration during the airbending and firebending that they just showed from the TV show.
You could have done that, yes.
They could do it now while she's playing around with the water ball.
You lose, you lose your audience basically when you're sluggish right out of the gate like that.
Right.
You know. And there's our Inuit, you know.
It's pretty much like Shyamalan saying "I'm sorry" right at the beginning of the movie. Just doing it a bunch of times.
By the way, the dialogue in the very beginning is "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." That actually came from M. Night Shyamalan himself.
Yes.
Yes.
That was added in afterwards.
Look at how white those Eskimos are. By the way, if you remember who basically played Sokka, he was also the guy from Twilight. Good explanation. Hi, Father. My mother. Yeah, like I said, there's just so much explanation going on. So.
No. A lot of this in the movie, yeah. Spoilers.
You know, like I said,
I look like it's on the green screen.
Yeah,
so it looks like a CDI game. Like, you know, the top down like they did with that one Zelda game.
Link. Oh yeah, what Zelda's Adventure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those links.
It looked like that. I'm waiting for him to like just move the spear around.
He probably did that off camera.
Yeah, you can. God, that backdrop is terrible. Also, Sokka's supposed to be 15 years old, so he looks a little old to be 15.
Well, that's Aaron Taylor Johnson, right?
I forget who plays him.
That's Quicksilver. Well,
that
the
dude?
MCU Quicksilver.
I am a warrior. Run!
Well, he's not fast here, obviously.
Nah. Trot for your life.
It's like me if I try to go skating. It's like just...
And introducing
Ung, not Aang. Ung.
Ong. Yes, tell me about that.
Oh, that's right. They don't pronounce things right.
No, they don't. So also they screwed up her hair loopies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
You look like Johnny Bench, just like waiting for the catch there.
We did warn you.
Yeah. By the way, nice Cincinnati Reds reference there. Oh,
It has begun.
yes. Actually, it's funny. I ran into. I was talking to a couple the other day when I was over at my mother-in-law's house. They had this giant Labradoodle. They named it Appa. And yes, they give the orders to go yip yip. I really thought that was cool.
But I will say this: how they did the flying thing, they did a really good job on it.
Credit to a lot of that, yes. But that was probably fun to slide down the hill like that. Whee! Ong.
Sky beams, always a sign of a good movie.
Oh yeah. By the way, just to clarify, I may have missed something here. I'm currently at 629.
I am at 642 now.
Okay. So I thought I was a couple seconds behind you guys. Ding. Ding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, I give credit where it's due. The fact that the Netflix series, I think, is going to be better than this movie is. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a better adaptation, but I don't think it's going to be a good adaptation. I mean, if the original, two creators of the show, left the series on Netflix, initially they were fired up as hell and they walked away. That is not a good sign.
Oh, for the Netflix?
Yeah.
Now I'm worried, just like I am about Resident Evil.
Well,
that was all just like way too much quick exposition.
I know, it's like, yeah, hey, but see, that was the problem with this. You took 20 episodes and you turned it into a movie that was barely 100 minutes.
I'm sorry. You look at the white guy and then you see all the children of different ethnicities following behind.
Well, we had this problem last week with Legend of Chun-Li. You see basically Chun-Li as a child, clearly Asian. And then suddenly, basically, when she becomes an adult, it's like she's whiter than my ass is.
Yeah.
It feels like Kung Fu Panda. It's like, should we tell him that he's adopted?
Kung Pao into the fist there, too. Yeah, see. It's funny. I think A or B camera guy, I forget which one it was the guy who was the A camera guy for 7 seasons on Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but look at Scott White and keep looking at him and being like, yeah, you did this movie before you got to Orange is the New Black. I'm having a hard time with this. Not even a big fan of actually how they burned his face there. Looks like it's more like a bad case of acne.
Oh, we have to have at least one other white person in order to
exactly
why they're there.
Grand. And no one sees this.
Not as intimidating with the big mitten on her hands. Like,
well, they do got the helmets on, so
exactly
that counts.
This one had a red cape.
You can tell he looks. It's got to be him. They dressed him better than they did all the background actors.
Yeah, I'm about to say everyone else is dressed in no color whatsoever. So just keep him in his wet clothing that he was frozen in. Well, that was very non-confrontational.
It kind of was in the series though, because he
Yeah, that's how it
realizes.
was.
Yeah, you know, in the series he realizes that the entire village will get burned if he doesn't actually go with them. So he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. But there was a cool scene where the first thing he says to Katara is like, "I need to tell you something. Do you want to go sledding with me?" And they go penguin sledding, and they have a nice afternoon. So they bond everything together. They cut that out of here because obviously time constraints. I don't blame Shyamalan for that decision on that. It's just, yeah, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've known that boy for a half hour. We have to get him back. Says who?
This boy we just met.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if a dog followed me home, I'd still tell it, "Hey, go home, go."
Oh, that reminded me of a little black kitten did that to me when I was living somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. You had that?
Mm-hmm. It followed me all the way to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Slept right there in front of the step. Followed me to work. And I got the neighbors to say, "Yo, just take the cat." They said the cat's too active. They don't need him.
This green screen monster floats. By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but all of these people in the Fire Nation, they were more how's the best way to put this? Asian oriented.
Yeah, just a bit.
Whereas here, it seems like they're all just Middle East / Indian.
Yeah.
So is there a reason for that?
In this series, no, I don't know. In the original series, they were based somewhat on Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little bit of a Japanese look. Even their name Zuko, is Japanese. Iroh, Ozai. These are all Japanese. You can say them very easily. But it was really broke down to like Japan, Tibet, and like Inuit culture. So that's like your big three. And of course, in this case, white people.
Stop it. Stop it.
How can that be? I'm acting.
I believe they're airbending tattoos, but then you read them and it's like pork fried rice combo number 15.
But how do you know they're airbending tattoos?
Yeah, of course, the old white lady knows all this stuff. None of the other people in the place knew about this.
Well, all the white people apparently in this village are smarter than everyone else. I think that's what they're trying to convey.
What?
And obviously in Gran, by the way, who's really old in the original series, like 80 years old.
Yeah.
She's, I don't know, 65-ish here. I guess it's plausible.
Maybe 65.
Maybe that's pushing it right there.
70, maybe.
See? Heart. Captain Planet.
Yeah, 60. You're right.
What was it? Wheeler, Linka. Crap. Who were the other three from Captain Planet?
Oh, God, I forgot.
Yeah.
I just know the rings.
Mm.
Oh no, T.
In order for me to find out whether you are a airbender, you must freeze the water.
The fire grew to him. That means it's his birthday.
Exactly.
Let's see what does the water do.
Look at him. He controlled the water. Now it's in a circle.
Now rock.
Of course, in this case, there would be no reason for Ong to really do any of this.
Yeah, facts. But this is what bothers me. You're trying to lock up somebody that has water, fire, air, and you're...
You just gave the guy a rock that you know he can use and you can't. He could have just boom, 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 like right in the head.
Also, keeping in mind, I mean, this was never used in the original Avatar. It's not his personality. But in Legend of Korra, there was a guy.
Good cop, bad cop. It's like, come on.
Yeah. You know. But by the way, they're just going to stand there the whole time. General Iroh, who's basically, the Dragon of the West, is just going to stand there and just watch this shit happen.
Well,
there was no reason for him to walk on the wall there. Just go.
Special effects.
Yeah. Get the kids excited. Like, oh my God, ain't doing these things.
It's like I just got out of that sphere about an hour ago. I get to stretch my legs.
No one will be sitting during he stands there and looks around and doesn't do anything.
Don't let him run.
And okay,
don't let him play with that kite.
Don't let him escape. Don't let him just, you have firebending ability. Don't use it right now, though. Chase
with
after
the fire right there.
Do not
throw you in the face.
Do not throw fire at the thing that will
and
obviously
burn. You could have burned that thing in an instant.
Oh, God damn.
You want to know what would have been hilarious, and I would accept this? You know the girl that's played the blind girl in the show?
Toph.
If they cast this girl, at the time she's a girl, a young girl, it would have been perfect. I would have accepted.
Yeah.
Kiki Palmer.
Toph was one of the best. Obviously, we never got to book 2 here, but Toph, was easily one of the best characters in that series.
Yeah.
If
Kiki Palmer would have been cast as Toph, I would have been done. I would have
been
work,
yeah.
So that was Uncle Iroh. That's the old man in the green outfit with the T that everyone always feels some sort of way about.
Yes. He is Ozai's older.
He just looked like an aged rocker.
He's Ozai's older brother, and he lost his own son in a war, basically during a battle that he was leading. So he was never really the same after his son was killed. Played amazingly by the actor Mako, who had decades of experience as a Japanese actor.
Doesn't it give you Mortal Kombat vibes from this, the 95 version of Mortal Kombat?
That was a better movie.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're suddenly into Momo right now. That didn't take long. What? Jeez. 19 minutes into this, Momo was introduced in like episode 6. I'm gonna bitch about this all the way through. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
He doesn't know.
And now he does. Hey, that image actually matches the transparency. Woo! There we go.
Mhm. Oh,
See,
here's that
admittedly,
Carlton.
this is like the first scene that kind of hits a bit.
Yeah.
Because while everyone was kind of acting kind of like carefree and deadpan and everything,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we're a little bit more hip to the game than Ong is.
Mm-hmm.
Or Aang, whatever you want to say it as.
No, we're going to call it Ong here. We're not going to dignify
Ong.
it with that. Yeah.
Ong. It's not Eng. It's Ong.
Yeah, in this version, we're going with Ong. And Monkey Otso is like 40 years younger than he was in the series.
See, if they had done like a little bit of a slower pacing on the movie, I could see this being like the end of the second act. And we
Yeah.
could have seen the whole movie of like Ong being carefree and kind of childish, and this is like the point where it kind of like switches.
Yeah. In the series, it became real here, but also based on how they showed where they showed Monkey Otso's corpse and how they did all that. That really hit.
Yeah, here it almost feels like it's happening too soon.
It is. I mean, we're
it
21
rushed.
minutes into this. That's what I'm saying. They did 20 episodes in not even 2 hours. Had they split it into 2 movies, which in fairness,
Which was
they probably
supposed
didn't
to
have
be happening.
Yeah, which unfortunately you lose a lot of context. Exposition can only go so far in something like this.
Yeah, I don't blame Shyamalan for that entirely.
Right.
This would have been better suited to be the first 10 episodes kind of thing, but you couldn't guarantee this was going to work. Harry Potter was better. Harry Potter at least had the chance. It had you can make one 2-hour movie out of that book, even if you didn't know how good it was going to end up being the franchise. So.
Yeah, see, this is a speech that she's saying to him that should be happening like into the third act.
Yeah.
As of right now, we've barely been through a half hour on this thing. What?
Right.
Currently at 22 minutes.
22 minutes.
With still an hour and 20 some odd minutes left.
Yeah. And that's assuming however many minutes of credits, by the way.
Yeah, it's almost ridiculous how much you're not invested in these people yet, and you're going through this many bases. Hey, I know him. Asif.
Who that is?
Asif Mandi.
Let me offer him lunch.
It looks like a black-clad Hogwarts.
Again, more quick exposition on that. By the way, is that something you really want to announce with the prince sitting right there? Are you that much of a dick? Prince or not, that's a really ballsy thing to do in front of a whole group of people.
Oh.
Oh, he's a passive-aggressive bitch.
Oh, yeah. He was in the series, too. So far, I'm not hating him in this.
Yeah, but that's why you get a comedian to do that sort of role. Just so the pettiness really comes off. I'm taking a long walk home. I will join him.
Disrespectful.
Everyone else sitting there like, so when do we get to eat?
Yeah. You see, they're right off the bat, you're seeing
picture. They looked Asian. Like, what the?
But see, right there, you're even seeing what Ozai looks like, and it's a proper adaptation. But even in pictures that he looked at in the first 2 books, there was a way that they did it that you still had no idea what he looked like there. Hey, an action scene.
Just like threw it at him for good measure. Okay, so far I will say, if I like anything about this movie, it's Zuko.
Fair.
You know,
who is that? That's Dev Patel playing him, right?
I think you're right on that. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I got to remember this is a 12-year-old movie, so there's definitely like some blockage as to people aging. See, now it looks more like how he's supposed to look.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
It changes his hair a little bit, but I can work with that a little bit. Oh, enough exposition and character development. Let's have an action. Let's have an action scene.
It's like those people just ran up real quick. How did they not notice they were around?
Actually, that one dude kind of looks a little bit like Elijah Wood.
I hate to say it. Remember when Nostalgia Critic went through this one, and he compared this scene to the one in Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes,
where they rolled up on him. He dared to kill a king's dare or whatever it was. God, I wish I got it. That I felt so bad. I'm sorry. He's putting the hood up like he's a Jedi master.
Oh God, this scene. This entire segment.
So green means they're earthbenders, correct?
Yeah. They're Earth Kingdom, yes. There is color coordination in this, yes. Yeah. And they did match it proper to the series also.
Yeah.
But I'd like to point out that they have all of these Earth Nation prisoners, and they have them in a camp surrounded by Earth. Many of the people are benders of Earth.
And so wait. So there's metal machines that the Fire Nation has that they can use against benders, correct?
Yes. They have technology, yes.
Are any of those in this area?
One would assume if you control pretty much the entire planet, you can bring one around, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. It's like...
Yeah. Going back to the original series again and beating that dead horse, in this case, they took the prisoners and put them on a metal ship right in the middle of the ocean. So they had nothing they could do.
Oh, so they were on a metal ship.
In the original version, yeah. And so therefore their earthbending had no power because they couldn't control metal. That was eventually learned later, but not at that point. Toph actually was the first metal bender ever, but she was in.
So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
There's
rocks right there.
There's dirt.
You have rocks in the friggin' wall.
Rocks. Again, I go back to Robin Hood Men in Tights. There's rocks. There's trees. There's birds. Come on, we'll bless them all till we get fish naked.
And also keep in mind how long he's actually taking to do all this. You have a sword and a spear right behind the guy. Yeah. So somebody could figure out a way to run up and tackle him. Also, can I point out all of these moves had to be done, and the CGI was added in later. So all of this was just being done on camera.
Yeah, that's what I say. It was too much dancing moves. Like,
yeah. Suddenly they realize they can fight.
Don't be afraid. They have one fire. You have the entire acre.
You have rocks sitting on the ground right friggin' there. See,
look at this. Look at this. Look at it.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yep.
Wait, hold on. Were the 5 dudes just doing that to lift the one rock?
Oh God damn!
Is that
I
how
hate
weak earthbending is?
I hate this movie so much, and
Oh,
that scene is the king of all
yeah.
the bad scenes, man. I swear to
Freaking
Christ,
Boomerang is doing more than the Earth did.
dude.
Yo.
Oh, I hate this movie so much. You know what? I've drank 2/3 of a bottle of red wine. It's still
It's like
not
we
even
only
enough.
have 1 or 2 fires to work with. We have to run.
Told you too much choreograph, too much dancing. Like, come on. This is not martial arts.
And this, like I said, the original series, it was kata. It was actually legit, but it worked together because it was done simultaneous. This case, it was added in post. Took away any tools related to bending, so we just, Well, I guess the prison camp is saved, right? Good job.
That was really all they had to do to send the Fire Nation running. They threw a couple of stones and they did a couple of walls. They could have done that at any time.
And a 12-year-old wind farts, and suddenly they succeed.
I think I'm starting to realize why I never got into watching the show, because this made them look so freaking weak. Like, why would I care?
But no, watching a show on Nickelodeon is totally different from watching this movie. Just letting you know now. It's totally different from watching this
I'm going
movie.
to ask the question in this case here. Do you trust us enough to believe us when we say this?
At this point, no, but I don't think there's much here that would make me think, oh, well, the show has a lot more than this.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that the camera is right here on everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, God, you can see like basically the boogers up their nose at this point.
Because originally you're not supposed to be that close.
No. Maybe there was something screwy in the background they had to, cut in tight. But look how close they are to on this. Yeah. Okay, so just learn more. Yeah, probably all of this just could have just been removed entirely.
Just so much exposition.
Yeah. And if you focused on basically them trying to get to the north and everything that has to happen there for the end of book 1, essentially, yeah, you could still make this a better movie here. But
because
thank you for telling us we can use Earth again. Jesus Christ.
Because you could kind of salvage this film, to be honest with you. No, you can. You can basically recast, but it all depends on how Netflix do it.
Yeah. I have greater faith in the Netflix series, but again, my biggest concern is the fact that the original creators left the project because of quote creative differences.
And of course, the black people all together in the same orange-colored village. It's like, there are racial undertones in this thing. I swear to God.
It is.
Which is ironic from an Indian man to begin with. That basically he went this way.
Oh, because Nickelodeon told me so. Maybe. Because they was run by
TMNT was more culturally sensitive.
You know what? Which one? The animated or the live action?
The animated one that came from Nickelodeon Studios.
What about it?
Oh, the one that they had April O'Neil as a black girl?
No, I meant the movie.
I'm completely lost right now.
The animated movie.
Oh, wait, the one, because that was really part 4 or 3. I think that's 3.
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
Okay, no. The Nickelodeon live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the one that was CGI'd, computerized.
Yes. Okay.
That was either 3 or 4.
That would have been 4.
Technically, if you had to say it, it would be 4, but really, it didn't continue on from the 3 movies.
Right.
It had that little thing at the end where it paid homage to the other movies with the little emblems of stuff, but it technically was its own thing.
Correct.
I never thought of that as a Ninja Turtles 4 of the
Yeah, it
the-
was.
the
Yeah,
Muppet
no, it
movie.
was just its own thing.
But
It
they
just
did
had, like,
mention it was
Easter
4.
eggs.
All right.
But somebody said it was 4, so
I don't know. I watched
Because
that
it paid homage to the live action movies because it was cinematic. That's why.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it actually tied into those adventures.
gotcha. Isn't that the guy from Fear the Walking Dead?
Could be.
Yes, he is.
Many Earth people under control because they forgot they get Earthbend. And again,
Wait, I can
that's fucking
Earthbend?
Iroh. What's that? It's freaking Ozai. What's that? Go ahead.
I said I got freaking Earthbend?
It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's like, when Goku's like, if only there was some way I can get over there in time. And then suddenly he realizes he can do instant transmission. Go on.
Yeah.
Like, did my father just forget he could do that? Your father's an idiot. Pretty much the same exact thing right here. But again, Ozai is just not anywhere near intimidating. Daniel Day Kim in the Netflix series, I can see it. He's got a degree of badassery. This is just some dude.
Yeah, he's more dignified than anything else. Whereas everyone else is either angry or petty or
this, like I said,
Iroh, where it's like he might as well just be old and numb.
When you get to season 3 of the Nickelodeon series, you're going to find out how deep that tyranny goes and what he would be willing to do to basically make sure he wins. He burned his son's face in season 1. That was already established, but forgetting that season 3, it got a lot more involved. That dude right there does not look like the type of person to do it.
But obviously not smart enough to walk up to a stranger when he calls over to him.
That is true, though. Isn't he nice? Isn't he a nice guy? Yeah, like I said, this is just a synopsis. I think the best way to describe it, this entire movie is just a synopsis. But
okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Because in the cartoon show, they actually showed them fighting.
Yep. Yeah. It would also, in this case, in the original series, it was Iroh that explained what happened. And he said, my nephew was militarily correct, but he was not allowed to speak out of turn and mock a general during an actual war meeting. He said statistically he was correct, but he didn't have the right to say anything. So he kind of saw both sides in some regard. But we need to have another side quest.
It was a quick ass rebellion.
Really, yeah.
It's like they were just waiting for someone to be like, okay, we'll take responsibility. All right, everybody rise up.
And look at that. Suddenly he can waterbend. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, gaze at my water snakes.
And I'm skinny.
And that
like
kid's
Bruce
ribcage.
Lee.
Holy crap. He's out. The kid's like 12. He's got abs going. Yeah.
Doesn't that look like Tony Todd?
Yeah. What is it about these remakes around this time that basically you have an African American guy as the benevolent monk? Because in Dragon Ball Evolution, you had Ernie Hudson as Mutaito.
wait, I gotta watch that film again. Dang.
If only you had it on DVD.
Were they
Shut
even
up!
sleeping?
Shut up!
What was that, Ryan?
Darn it! I regret life's decisions. Well, it wasn't my fault. My cousin gave it back to me and he snuck it in the house.
It looks like they're doing construction at the temple.
But he kept the SpongeBob movie.
He kept the SpongeBob movie, but he gave you Dragon Ball Evolution
back. Yeah.
Goku in high school. Although to be fair, I am a fan of the bully scene where he's fighting with the, on top of the car and everything. I give it credit. That was actually I enjoyed that scene. So.
It's Aang. It's Aang. It's Aang.
No. This is Aang.
It's culturally appropriated. It's Aang.
Because if we said it's Aang, it's one step closer to being accurate to the original series. So therefore, it is Aang.
Darn it! I can't take this no more. It's Aang.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. And that's where
Roku.
Again, you catch the magnitude of both the greatness and the insignificance of Aang. And to this credit, I mean, the fact that they built this scene in this location, I think was great this way. Because it just shows how many thousands of years, he's been reincarnated and come back. I just wonder about the guy who has to move all the statues every time a new avatar dies.
Show, don't tell. Show. God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh no, he has a knife. Oh. I'll take that.
I got paid.
Another stupid way to lock up an avatar. How many sins should I give this? 5?
Oh God, really? Yeah.
Well, no, wait. Now, how is that a stupid way to lock up an avatar if they can't do their little movements?
He can breathe.
Exactly. So what? Now this is Demon Slayer?
If you know about the lore, you will understand. If you watch the cartoon,
but as someone who has never watched the show before, coming into this movie, because for all I know, this might be the point where I started falling asleep. How does breathing help?
He's like I said, he's an airbender.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but he's got no way of bending now.
No, he does.
Dude, he moved a rock. Remember earlier in the movie, he moved a rock without actually
even doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it goes against his monk principles, but they did eventually at one point learn a way to kill people with air, because you just pull all the air out of a person's lungs and watch them asphyxiate.
Yeah.
They killed people in the second series literally doing that.
Just like the girl with the water bending, she know that she could basically draw blood out of
blood bending. Yeah, that's creepy. That was, dude, that was creepy when that old lady did that. I think her name was Mama. because you could start to manipulate things that weren't water, but anything liquid, including the blood inside a person's body, and you can actually get someone against their will to do whatever you want them to.
Right.
And you're like, damn, this shit's real. Like I said, every season of like Avatar: Last Airbender was like better than the previous season, and by season 3, it was just fantastic. Same, I'll hold true with Legend of Korra. Every season I think was better than the last.
Now, what the
Especially
hell is this with the monkey man?
Yeah.
I know who it is, but
I know who it is too. Yeah. Hey, what are you doing out there? Hey, hanging around. I've been hanging around this time.
That was kind of dark. My name is Ryu Hayabasha.
Kabuki. Huh. Thanks.
Okay.
Good thing they left the staff right there too.
Like you're getting docked pay for this.
You know, it's weird. Watching this movie is making me want to watch the original series again.
Yeah, it does.
It's bizarre, but you look at this and you're just like, okay, I remember this scene, and it was better done there. Maybe I want to watch it again. But I'm too busy right now going back through Stranger Things before the new season. And again, all of those people with swords, he has a stick and nobody's approaching. But he'll do some basic katas in the meantime. Credit to the kid for being good at it, though.
Yeah.
The kid actor, not Aang, but Arang.
They just happened to square him up in the practice area.
I mean, like I said, for the kid, they did a really good job, I think, finding someone who had the skill set.
I dare you to get through my revolving door.
Well, one guy did. And goodbye, stunt guy.
You figure there'd be like 5 dudes hanging out outside this thing while everyone else goes attack the one who's actually attacking their guys.
Actually, what this is making me want to do is it's making me want to watch the Nostalgia Critic and also Cinema Sins of this again.
You know what? I like this
the other
scene.
one's not
This
even doing
scene
any
was kinda-
bending. He's just slicing with swords.
What was that,
I
D?
kind of like this scene better.
It wasn't bad.
Reminds me of that one scene from The Golden Child.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you never saw Golden Child?
I've never seen Golden Child, though.
I want the knife, please.
Wow.
My dear brother Numsi.
That was a really good film.
Yeah, it was a bit of a genre mixer, but it worked. Definitely not a movie you would have expected for Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
This scene was like, you know what? Remember that scene in Matrix Reloaded where Neo is fighting all the Smiths?
Yeah.
Let me make a worse version of that.
Okay, admittedly, the choreography here is pretty decent, even though they're doing a bit too much slow-mo.
Well, it's all done in one take, which credit there, but that's why you have all the background extra just standing there right now.
That's what I want to know.
You know who he is.
But see, here's my mistake on this, which on both series. If you kill him, he's reborn as an infant. In this case, in the Water Nation. So all you need to do is you need to find all the infants in the Water Nation that were just born. So, and at the very least, you don't have an Avatar problem to deal with for a few years.
Well, not necessarily, because who's to say he'll be a Fire Nation?
Arrow.
No, because it's always in a cycle. So it's air, water, earth, fire, and then back to
that
air
was
again.
Some damn good aim for one arrow.
So yeah, the next Avatar would be water. So you just find water. It's Zuko. Bum bum bum.
Okay, I can kind of see why it would be Zuko if they're like, if he needs the Avatar alive to prove his manhood and such.
Yeah. His whole thing was basically, if I bring the Avatar back, my father will love me again.
Yeah.
Quite literally, he says this in the series.
Yeah.
And obviously, if he used any of his firebending, they'd know, oh, okay, it's one of ours.
Fair, yeah.
Okay, that actually makes some pretty good sense.
The blue spirit, yeah.
Now, here's my thing. You were able to just make a fog and disappear in it. Where was that when you were in the structure? With all the corridors and walls and everything.
Yeah,
why
right?
didn't you make the fog then? And you could have just snuck out.
By the way, the camera zoom on this is just literally one guy walking through the woods right there. That was an odd decision right at that point.
This whole movie is odd decisions.
No, but the camera decision, I mean, it wasn't just a regular zoom in. They had the camera guy walking in on it. And I just thought that was really weird to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is the truth.
But I'll shit talk him all I want.
Exactly. Well, I did on the ship in front of my entire crew. Look at how badass I am. We're zoom in on my man ring.
Blue Spirit.
Yeah, that's what he calls himself, as the his alter
Where
ego.
was that blue?
Well, and the mask is blue. So.
But obviously they know that a lie, because look at it. You with a girl? Ha.
Actually, he does have a girlfriend in the series.
You wouldn't think that, considering he's traveling around with his uncle. That's like some Ben 10 shit right there.
His uncle looks like a bad knockoff version of like John Travolta in Battle.
Oh, that's why he's getting a foot rub.
Yeah.
I won't. Somebody else will.
Exactly.
And then I will scold them severely.
I sent him to I grounded him.
But I don't want you to kill him. You kill him, then I come after you.
Right. I will not harm him. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Off my feet, woman!
Yes.
La la la.
So wait. If Zuko needs Ong, why did he let Ong go back?
You know, Aang escaped in the other version, I believe, if I remember right. Yeah, I think what ended up happening was, you know what it was? Aang ended up having to save Zuko from freezing to death, but left him in a position where he could be recovered. And then Aang took off. I think that's what happened in the original version.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would have never gotten that from this.
Yeah. Yeah, because they end up actually they end up hitting a massive storm up north and find shelter in a cave. And Zuko almost dies in the process. I think that's how it goes.
No, that makes sense here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because it gets referenced later when Iroh's chewing him out.
Right, but I feel like there should have been at least some sort of discussion between Zuko and Tong.
Dude, we don't have time for that.
When they got back into the woods.
Dude, we don't have time for that. We have plot to advance. And like, penis-shaped hair for princesses. Tell me that you like it. Yeah.
Come on, this is Nickelodeon. At most they're gonna hold hands or something.
Yeah. Yay, more narration. Oh, cool. He can do now they got something.
I was about to say, it's like, how long is it going to take for the special effects to show up?
Yeah. For the rest of the movie, I will not actually continue to discuss the original series. I feel like I've beaten that horse more than I can to death.
We all did.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore going forward. I will just mention how basically the principles are here too. And how honestly that guy looks like the king from Lord of the Rings. Whatever his name was.
This is how we defend Helm's Deep.
Yeah, that guy, yeah. So it begins. Kind of looks like the same guy. Yeah, that or Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian.
You have my axe. A boomerang.
I had a feeling you might volunteer.
Yeah. I've heard that you wanted to knock boots with my daughter.
She has my sword. I mean, staff. I mean, what's the thing I throw again?
You have my word, sir.
Yeah.
You have my thing. Whatever my thing is, you have it.
Yes. Julie, do the thing. All right, I got a free pass on that one. So.
Not the one with the tongue.
By the way, Ozai's sideburns go all the way down past his ears. To be fair, I don't think I've ever seen sideburns that long before going reverse.
It's like reverse.
Yeah, it's like reverse mutton chops.
Yeah, I feel like if they actually changed the aesthetic of the Fire Nation to be more Indian oriented, they could have done that. To really just go ahead and like make it feel like authentic. Instead, it feels like they're cosplaying.
Yeah. There have been fan films of Avatar Last Airbender. I've seen a couple of them. Actually, there's a new fan animation came out called Legend of Genji, which I'm curious to take a look at. Supposedly it's really well received, though.
So now he's a soccer hooligan.
Hey, Shaolin soccer. There you go.
Show me what you got.
Show me sand the floor. Any day now, show me sand the floor.
I'll admit I like that they show all the water in the background and everything actually being reacted to as well, just to show the height of his possibility. But I'm still not exactly sure why he's so timid about it.
Part of it is also because Ong is trained to be a pacifist.
Yeah.
You know, his Tibetan beliefs is to be one with nature and not just to be a fighter. Bless you. God, this thing.
See?
I will I will not cough on people.
Hey, more exposition.
Yes, it's a real shame. And I could just see him with like a little wispy mustache, twirling it as he said it.
Your son died in that attack, right? Yeah. Oh, sucks, man. Want to get a beer? Yeah, okay. See the Yankee game last night? Yeah. Yankees got killed worse than Yankees got killed worse than your kid did.
Oh wow. Damn. Damn.
I mean, I know it's only been 3 weeks, but I'm ready to do it.
Exactly.
I'm willing to bend over and just say, ooh.
Yeah.
Show me your leg bending.
Did you see my penis shaped hair? Does it give you some ideas of what else I want to see that's erect?
I got a question. Do you regret doing this movie?
I think here's the thing. I think in general, actors don't regret the paycheck to survive, but from an artistic standpoint, they're like, "Yeah, I knew this thing was shit." Yeah,
Well, I think that's why it's a good idea that you get like a lot of younger actors to do these sorts of things, because then it's like at least an experience, at least it's a platform for them to build off of. They know now what not to do. If you had like a lot more older, experienced actors doing something that's schlocky, then it's kind of more of a black mark.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, you could never see a De Niro or Christopher Lee or anybody like that, you know, high profile people being able to do something like this. But
which I hate to say, from that perspective, the girl looks so much like my friend Alina. Like if I look at pictures from her when she was younger, she would look exactly like her. And I gotta show her pictures of it now.
But even day players make $1,000 a day, not counting residuals. So you look at it from the day, you know, I don't know how much these guys got paid, but even if they did a 10-day shoot, that's $10,000 right there before residuals. And that's only at a day player rate. That's not an actual contracted rate. So.
You had a chance, and he ran away.
It wasn't dramatic enough. I had to have it
cool. Done is like maybe put him in some shackles, because apparently those work.
Or did they?
Exactly.
Yes, they did, because he had to use swords to unlock them.
How you know the Avatar couldn't do it himself?
Maybe he just stayed that way to get
If he could have, he would have.
No.
Plus, isn't it the Fire Nation who pretty much took out the air nomads?
Yes.
Yeah, but
I think they have like some sort of basis as to how to get rid of them and how to detain them.
Yeah, Gyatso was much more powerful than Aang is.
Yeah.
You know, you use the World War I, you know, military tactic. Just keep throwing bodies at them until you get the job done.
Oh, what's this? Ash bending?
Yes.
A dark cloud is coming. It's snowing black.
Black snow? This wasn't in the forecast.
No, people thought. Well, I was about the artist snow.
Oh,
that he kind of sounded. You know.
My God, this is Captain Planet. This is like the pollution enemy. All that coal firing is bad for the environment.
You close to your neck, you know. Make sure button up. Don't get cold. Iroh and Zuko in this have all the commonality that I do with a person that makes my sandwich at Quick Check.
I think Zuko was the guy that.
Remember to call me every Saturday.
Call me when you get there. Zuko, yeah, like I said, some of the casting choices I'll give it credit.
Vegetables.
Zuko was solid. I think Katara was solid. Aang wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Iroh, I hate Iroh. By God, I hate Iroh and I think they were terrible in this. Also, I want to point out that water is probably cold as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how well you can firebend underwater to keep yourself warm.
It's the fire in your heart.
Thunder in your heart. Remove it like... Oh, he's like, I did not plan this the way I should have.
Oh, well.
Oh, crap.
See, he can use it on his fingers.
Yeah.
Which, wait a minute, hold on. Okay. So they made all these machines.
Uh-huh.
Did they not have any welding tools? That he could have taken in the water that would have provided some sort of underwater fire?
One would assume you'd have welding tools in order to make the ships in the first place.
Yes. And no one notices the one Indian guy in the white outfit just hanging out on the roof.
Well, he is in all white.
Yeah.
It's not that white. I would dare say it's probably whiter than some of the snow.
Not going to talk about the original version. Not going to talk about the original version. Not going to talk about the original version.
Or you maybe get locked up in jail and find some guy with like a little hammer and a nail and he gives it to you.
Oh.
Let's go find a bathroom somewhere.
Tell me that you like it. Yeah.
Hitting a gong.
That's what it sounds like, you know.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
He changed out of that clothing quick.
Well, he's not as dramatic when he's dressed as Moon Knight.
To be fair, the clothing is inside Moon Knight. This is more like the Batman, where it's like he was wearing the costume and then he had to take off the costume in order to infiltrate the place, and then he had to change back into the costume once he was in the place.
It's a good thing she had all that time to make that move. That fire moved towards her so slowly.
Not for long.
You're not. Now you're part of the Northern Warrior.
How did you not see the second one coming?
I mean, to be fair, that is pretty accurate. He's trained as a firebender for years, and she never really had any tutelage. She just kind of learned on her own.
But with the time that it took the first one to make that bend, you saw him doing the second one. Technically, you're not allowed to go home at all because you did.
Yeah, true. Also, when you see how long it actually takes for them to bend anything, a bow and arrow would be remarkably efficient. Because you've got all of this happening right now. Meanwhile,
remember to wait for the sign from Gandalf high above the mountain.
Exactly. I can't see anything. Shall I describe it to you?
That one looks like Merry
right
there. It's like freaking Merry and Pippin showing off.
Would you like me to find you a box?
Dong, dong.
Yeah. 2 already. I'm at 17. By the way, we're in the 3rd act officially now.
Yeah.
And by far. All right, so we got 33 minutes of this movie left, including credits.
To meet a spirit would be a great honor.
Hmm.
Yes, I would. It's not going to happen.
Oh no, they're coming through our ice fortress. What do we do?
If only we were waterbenders that could move the water and the ice. Turn the ice into giant shards and make them as,
It's like they basically just made a whole bunch of holes for the water to come out of, and they're not using it. So soon?
Sure.
In less than 2 hours?
My God, he gets kidnapped more often than Princess Peach.
Lord have mercy. Where am I? Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
What cheap special effects is this?
You see, again, it's a spirit world, but how much of that was really explained in this movie? I mean, okay, it's communing with a dragon, fine, but
yeah, it looks less like the spirit world and more like a bad editing day by the cinematographer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, I'm sticking to my thing about not talking about the original series. So, you were stopping yourself from grieving. Did he grieve at all? Everyone
he
you knew
cried
was
a lot when he was there with the bones.
Oh yeah, it's already had a bit of emotion there, and then he moved on. I'm actually very disappointed. I figured that out.
But you're not the Avatar we expected you to be.
Exactly. So I should use
the power.
So I should use the water that's surrounding me as a waterbender also. It's like, Zuko, are you still fucking talking?
Mm-hmm. It's like that villain that sits back and see like.
It's like, should I be hearing this conversation?
Yeah.
See, you should have shackled the feet.
Damn it.
That's your own mistake.
Exactly.
My plan.
So this one, he kidnapped Aang, later rescued Ong, and now kidnapped Ong again. So he's had 2 kidnappings and a freedom in like an hour and 10 minutes?
Yeah.
They are surrounded by water and ice. Why are they not putting out the fires?
Yes. Why is it only Paku that's actually doing anything with this?
Because we're afraid to show our abilities.
You're right there. Put out the fire.
Yeah. Shoot an arrow at him. You have bows and arrows. When he is over here doing this, you have people over here that can stab him.
Fire department in the world could make that happen.
Oh God.
Even when they were planning out, they said, we'll put out all the fires in town as quickly as possible. Yeah, our fires. Their fires, we can't touch them.
You're not in there.
I don't think he was about to like stick a finger up the butt, just like, ah, no. Surprise. Oh my god, you have no peripheral vision. And that without the good eye. It's like feasibly, if his whole side of the face there was burned, shouldn't the eye there kind of be fucked up too?
In his, yes.
Nice
But
move.
instead, it just looks like he's got like, what's that skin condition where it like the skin flares up a bit?
I don't remember. That's not the one I thought you were going to talk about.
Oh, what was it? What is it?
Yeah, they skipped a lot of things.
Alopecia.
They skipped a lot of things in this film.
Oh, yeah. But I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to so badly, but I'm not going to talk about that. Partly because I don't want to spoil it for Ryan if and when he actually watches the original series.
You're right.
Blah, 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 blah. It's like, it feels nice. Oh. Keeping in mind that Zuko was able to, burn the ice before when he got out of the water. He suddenly can't do that now.
Well, he was able to move his fingers together first.
Mm. Yeah, but if he's completely covered, even where he is, where the fingers are right there.
Again, look at how little fire there is there to work with.
Killed by waterbender just here. You will die of hypothermia, possibly, however.
Not necessarily.
It could have been us, but you playing too much. It's going to be a lot warmer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's adorable. But
Not
big.
really. Like, I know nothing of Appa's personality except that he's big and flies.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he's supposed to have more than that.
No, it's pretty much him. He's big and he flies and he likes oats. But it's also the only thing Aang has from his old life, too. Everything else is new.
Dinner. They're also called dinner if you fry them up well enough. Okay, I'm sorry. What spirit gets caught that easily?
I'm going to casually implore you.
You give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You kill the fish for no reason, the world goes into chaos. The other fish is like, I'm not seeing this shit.
Also, keep in mind that Iroh is actually not actually doing anything about this.
Oh my god, my head.
It's like the scene from episode 3 when Yoda's feeling the.
Oh god. It's a red sun. Superman will lose his powers.
Well, half right. Such a random zoom in on an eyeball.
It's like, you're going to burn that tree.
Yeah.
Look at my fire and despair.
And then
don't actually hit him with any of it.
I was going to say, and that's literally all there is to that. Ooh, flying kick.
Slow motion at the wrong time.
Walter.
You are not meant to hurt others. Drown them all.
You can save the day if you just die.
But no, she just spent a few scenes with the guy. Oh, she can't die. Because we as movie watchers are not invested in who Blondie is.
With her painted on eyebrows.
Well, if it was Katara, whatever, then I'd probably be a little upset.
But not the character who was just introduced 12 minutes ago?
This girl's had maybe like 10 minutes screen time at most. Why should I care?
Maybe it might not be that high. 3 minutes, maybe.
Just because she gave like a water handy to the ponytail boy? I don't know. I don't care.
You don't want her to go, do you?
What?
Ryan?
What?
You don't want her to go, do you?
I don't care if she goes or not.
The point
That's
is,
the problem.
There's
They're
no
making it up
character
to be this like big deal, but we have not had any investment in who she is, as opposed to Ong and the other two.
Yeah, I think if you
her giving up her life is not an emotional beat for me.
Yeah,
but they're obviously playing it up to do so. I'd be more upset if Zuko died at this point.
I think if you got rid of the Earth prison scene, got all that out of there, and focused so much on the Northern Air Temple, I think you could have had a much greater impact on all of this, top to bottom. Because also, even Master Paku and all the rest of them, there's no emotional attachment to anybody. It's just like, okay, now we're over here now. And now his girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Impossible.
No.
I gutted that fish like a fish.
And suddenly they have new life. Hooray.
Which, hold on. Okay, wait. His job was to go ahead and kill all the spirits. Why kill one fish and leave the other one?
Because it keeps the imbalance.
Yes.
But isn't the whole Fire Nation things that they don't want to be ruled by spirits whatsoever? So if you have two, Kill two. Why only kill one?
Because one can't go without the other. That's what yin and yang means.
Yes, but if you kill yin and yang, then you're pretty much set. You don't have to worry. It seems like a very half-baked idea. You have two fish. You don't kill just one fish.
Okay.
That still could have gone him. It just could have gone around him.
Anyway, we're going to go now. So we'll inevitably show up in the sequel that never happens.
Yeah.
Suddenly now we're not afraid.
Again, when were they going to put out the fires? Jesus Christ.
We didn't start the fire.
Help me. Disney gone dark. I mean, not Disney.
Nickelodeon, huh?
Nickelodeon gone dark.
Did they drown him?
Yeah.
In this version, yeah.
Yeah.
I said Disney, my bad. Sorry, Nickelodeon, wrong network.
And now we do water ballet.
Yep.
Now it looks like a musical number.
And then back to the action.
One step ahead of the nation. No.
I'm going to show you my true power.
If he doesn't flip over all those ships at this point, I'm wondering what's the point.
Let me show you my power.
Bless you.
God bless you.
Plop.
See, we should have had more of these.
Yeah.
This should have happened when he was talking about it.
I do this for you, master.
What? You're gonna cry? You're gonna cry about a crybaby? You're gonna
Come
cry?
on, man. You made me cry now. Cry.
I do this for you, master.
And more katas.
And now he beats up Scott Farkas.
Actually, it's funny. Scott Farkas had a really good career after Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach Ward? Yeah, no, he's done some good stuff.
Well, a lot of them never really went that far. but he did.
I loved him most on Titus.
That's the one I was thinking of right there too. Yeah. I was shocked when I found out he played the brother in Titus.
I'm shocked in how many movies he's played where he's died in them. He's almost got like a Sean Bean counter.
See, there's your water.
He is the Avatar. He has the power.
You're referring to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Fire Nation.
Like she's like smiling, and everyone else is like, "Oh my god, is that shit gonna come over the wall?"
Yeah. You know, everyone's in complete awe. The Water Nation could just sit there while the Fire Nation people are staring at it and just go stab, 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 stab.
Facts.
It's like the environmental equivalent of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, right.
Oh, don't talk. That's one show we shall not talk about. I saw season 1. I couldn't take it.
That's right. Yeah, I had to tell you what happened.
Look at it. It's so pretty. Wait, that shit's going to come down on us.
All I will say is that their season 4 is taking 3 years to do. They're doing it in 3 parts, and every time I reach the end of the end of the season without realizing it. So yeah, the final part of season 4 is 2023. The first season was last year. The first part of it was last year.
Yeah, they know how to stretch it.
Dude, pissed me off. Both times I had no idea that they were stretching it out like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Run away.
To be fair,
I have the power.
What's that, Roy?
It could have been a pandemic issue where they had breaks in the development of the episodes. And that's why it's being stretched.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the series that are playing now that are getting premieres, a lot of them are saying 2021. So a lot of stuff was backtracked.
Fair. Although Dragon Ball Super Hero got pushed back because supposedly a computer some kind of a hack.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out next month, I think.
I love you, Ang. Let me have your babies.
3 of them.
I learned from my brother and the white-haired girl some things.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
I was saying she learned from her brother and the white-haired girl some things.
Let's see. I think this movie was made 10 years too early. Yeah.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's possible the Netflix series will be better. But I'm just really nervous because the original creators walked out of the project. So I wonder if there's talk that Netflix wanted their own version of Game of Thrones. So are they going to Game of Thrones like Avatar?
I love that they're walking him down like he's captured by people. It's like, no, grab the wrist and the arm.
Like it's captured a lot.
Even the Fire Nation's like, we shall bow.
Exactly. We know when we're beat.
It's like we have no way of going home, so.
And suddenly now everyone's bowing to him. This time he's going to accept it and not run away.
It's like that thing that scared you off before and got you all frozen. Well, here's it times 10.
Yay, more katas.
Is that the acceptance pose?
Yeah. I guess so.
Like, if he had a bowl in his hand, he'd be asking for more gruel.
Now the mid-credit scene, somewhat.
Yeah. Setting up the sequel.
Which never happened.
Yep. Reference. Running. All right, well, all right, fine, whatever. But you're a princess and you're my daughter, so you would know this already. Let's see. Remember how hyped the first teaser was, and then pretty much killed the franchises. Oh my god, yes.
Yes. Oh my god. Don't even mention that. That's why we laughing at this. Like it's like
Well, this came out, I think, the same time they were still doing Legend of Korra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or right around the beginning, maybe Legend of Korra. But
and the funny thing about it, she looked hot after that weird, creepy look.
It's funny. She does not look like the psychotic Azula that you're expecting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
It's like, okay, we get it. That was the sister that he was talking about, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
We made it through this crap of a movie. It wasn't really bad. It's just before it came out 10 years too early. I agree.
Executive Kathleen Kennedy. Friggin' Star Wars. Not surprised.
Oh, her name was on that? Okay.
Yeah, as an executive producer.
So there is a tie into Disney in some ways. Because she worked for Disney, I think, at that point, even then, too.
Just really a lot of stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Giving it benefit of the doubt, again, as someone who has never watched the show, and now that I was awake for the whole thing. Going into this blind, even I have to say, it felt like there was a lot left on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of things, like I was saying, were being spoken, but were better off probably being seen. Motivations being what they were felt a little flat. As far as some of the characters, again, Zuko's still my favorite. You know, I will give Dev Patel that much.
That is fair.
He made it interesting to actually watch his progression going through.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else in this was just
But at least it didn't put you to sleep.
Not this time, yes.
Well, no, this time I had coffee.
Derpy game. It was first it was okay. Second time,
I'm really gonna have to say, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So as a kid, I thought it was okay at first, but the second time I saw it was pretty bad. Yeah, because you're seeing it from the first time through. You're like, all right, I don't really know how they're going to play this. Once you know it, this movie is shite.
It just feels very disjointed. You know, it's like piecemealed together. And considering what you said, it's like 20 some odd things all put together in like less than 2 hours. It's going to have that kind of feeling. It's like trying to do too much too quickly.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a synopsis of the series.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they should have just basically eased into it. Like, could they done like what Marvel did in The Lord of the Rings? Yes. But I don't think Nickelodeon had that budget.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so we're getting. By the way, we're getting set up for a question here. I just want to point that out.
Jackson Rathbone. That's who played Zuko.
Well, here's the real question, fellas. Okay.
Let's see. Kickboxing Firebender was Christopher Brewster. But, yeah, like I said, this is a bad movie. Just
Yeah. It wasn't worse than Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li.
No, it was not. But it's okay. So basically, would you rather watch this again or Dragon Ball Evolution again? I would probably go with Dragon Ball Evolution because I don't know. You know what? Because Chow Yun-Fat, I think, did a decent job with that movie. He's the best part of that movie. And by the way, happy birthday to Chow Yun-Fat. He turned 67 today. So that at least had some redeeming quality and some fun to it. And I mentioned the fact that I liked the fight scene, on top of the car and everything like that. I thought that was kind of fun. I'll go that way. How about you guys?
I'll say it's, with all its errors, it's redeemable.
I'd go Evolution.
You want to go Evolution? Oh, yeah.
No.
Here's the thing. Evolution isn't trying to throw too much together at once. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much just trying to tell its own singular story. It's not trying to redo Dragon Ball with the Piccolo story arc. Yeah. It's not trying to redo DBZ with a lot of the Saiyan stuff. It's pretty much just trying to tell its own Americanized version. Bad as it may be, it's still its own congruent story.
Mm-hmm.
It has a beginning, has a middle, has an end.
And I will say this, I would go with Dragon Ball Evolution, but like I said, it has its redeemable qualities. I said redeemable qualities. I wasn't talking about the Last Airbender. Like it had, it had its good moments. Don't get me wrong. Do I see them redoing this or coming back to this? for Dragon Ball, yeah. I mean, not Dragon Ball. The Airbender, yes, with a different director, with a different way, different concept, learning more about the origins of the story, adding more to it. I could see them redoing this. Definitely, Dragon Ball Z is way overdue for a live action film. I'm definitely going to say that. And we see all these fan films with Dragon Ball, and they are phenomenal. You know, and we just waiting for that Dragon Ball Z live action movie to redeem itself, just like we're waiting for Resident Evil to redeem itself.
Which it very well do with the new Netflix series.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. It's kind of questionable.
But the thing with that, with the thing between Resident Evil and Dragon Ball and everything, they've shown either in animated movie form or even just within its own series and games, you can do an isolated story on its own without it connecting to anything else, without much prior knowledge of the franchise. You can just jump into it and you can get the gist.
Okay,
Unlike something like this, which unfortunately relies so much on the narrative and the characterizations of some of these people that you can't rush it. You have to be able to let this sort of stuff breathe and tell its story. And that's why something like this fails, because it ultimately, regardless of whether or not Shyamalan enjoyed the series and was that much of a fan, he tried to do too much, which I think is something that happens in a lot of Shyamalan movies.
Okay, my question to you: would you prefer the current Resident Evil that came out in 2020, or would you prefer the Jamila Djokovic's Resident Evils?
What one came out in 2020?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Comparing to that to her movies that she was in.
No, I'm asking. There's one that came out in 2020.
That's the one I'm talking about. Comparing to that.
I don't think you knew there was one that came out in 2020.
Who?
I just saw the trailer for the thing the other day.
Oh. So you didn't see 2020s?
No, I saw the thing that's going to be coming to Netflix this year.
No. We're talking about 2020. Oh, so you never saw 2020 version of Resident Evil?
No, I know there was all the Mila Jovovich ones.
But there was a 2020.
Oh, Mila Jovovich.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the first one, I can't agree with you. You could do whatever you want with Resident Evil, and it comes out good. Like, the first one was good. When they started going...
The first one, the second one, and a little bit of the third one.
Nah. The first one was good.
The problem is they started making a movie for every character in order to bring them out. One. There was the Chris Redfield movie. There was the Claire Redfield movie. There was the Jill Valentine movie. Then I get it. It has a lot of people. And
but what bothered me,
there was the Leon movie. It's like if you wanted all these characters, just put them in the first few movies, and then we just follow their individual stories. It's not like freaking Alice needs to meet them all along the way.
No, that was the issue I had.
You try to balance fan service with plot, and I think that's even the problem that they had with this movie here, because there was so much. There's 8-9 hours of actual show trying to be condensed into 100 minutes. So they tried to do what they could to basically shoehorn in every bit of fan service, and in the process watered down the product so badly that it's unrecognizable.
And it wasn't fun. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
We had fun making fun of it.
Right.
But from what I understand, this being a children's property, there should be a certain amount of comic relief. And there wasn't.
Zuko was meant to be your comic relief.
Yeah, no, everyone was teenage, angsty, emotional, sort of, this might have been like a movie about Degrassi with all the angst.
Yeah. So I didn't realize it was Kathleen Kennedy, though. Because actually at the end of the credits, it's a Kennedy Marshall production. Interesting.
But it's just, all I had to say is, bad movie Beatdown.
If that's the title we're going to stick with.
Yeah, I can roll with it. So, like I said, I considered calling it Bad Movie Bitch Fest. I also considered basically, film flop, fuck this. But I'm probably not going to go in that direction.
Yeah.
So, it literally says New Raccoon City. You're dumb as shit if you don't consider that a bad sign. It's almost like basically you have Jurassic Park. It's like, oh, they made another park just like the first one. with dinosaurs walking around. I guess this one will be okay.
Yeah, I find it funny that they're pretty much perpetrating it with like this whole kind of like little Furby character that they're going to go ahead and sell that just happens to have the T virus inside of it to make it work. I'm like, how? That's so ridiculously goofy, and yet it stays within the confines of what we expect from Resident Evil, from the Umbrella Corporation. I'm not upset about that. It's silly. It seems a little Black Mirror-y, but I'll watch it.
I'll check it out. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to give you my review. Like,
all right. So let's finish this one off for this train wreck. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. Grade on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being high, 1 being obviously lowest. Ryan, where do you put this one? And why?
Upon my second viewing, my first full awake viewing, I've got to put it at a 4.
Okay.
I have to believe
that animal and teaches to ride a ball.
Oh, and the one playing Aang. They did the best that they could with what they were given. But the story itself is just so disjointed, piecemealed together. The effects kind of good for what they were, but I mean, you could have done more. You could have done better, especially as far as the Earth people were considered. And I just feel like we just didn't get enough time and emotional connection. Had you slowed it to pace and given more time to some of these people, it would have gone up significantly. But again, this might as well have been old, just trying to throw in as many characters as possible, and maybe 1 or 2 of them die, I can't care except for the main 2. So for those main 2, that's why it even gets any points whatsoever.
D?
Before I get the rating, I had an issue with that dog choreography from Earth, like, oh yeah. I'm like, why?
5 dudes all together to lift 1 rock. 1 clump of dirt.
One of the most iconic bad scenes of, not just this movie, but I think adaptations of all time. And again, they did that without CGI and probably did multiple takes of that Earth rock scene.
Oh my God, it was so
They looked like cheerleaders.
And then not only that, you cut some of the major parts. You kind of rushed stuff into the film. You never gave character development with certain characters. Even the main character didn't have that much of a character development. I'm going to go with, I really want to go. I'm going to go with a 2.5 to a 3.
Okay. So it's a 2.5 to a 3 is where you're going in. I felt I was expecting you to be like, 2.67392, 4.
Yeah.
All right. Bottom line is you're giving it lower than Ryan. I'm going to go even lower than that. I am going to go with a score of 2. So
wow.
I give
technically that's an 11.
No, this is a 2 here. This is, so yeah, 1 each here. Again, I've mentioned Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Nickelodeon series, is my favorite animation of all time and well-deserved. I understand that decisions have to be made to change things around for time constraints and everything like that. And I will also give it a free pass for the fact that there was no credibility to something like this, where you don't know how the series is going to go. You didn't know how the original Lord of the Rings was going to go. You didn't know how the original Harry Potter was going to go. So you had nothing behind it to be like, okay, this is going to make money. The problem in this case is that they took 8 or 9 hours of a series, whatever book 1 and series 1 ended up being, and condensed it into 100 minutes, with credits, by the way. So this whole thing was like 93 minutes, whatever it ended up being. And you put too much in there that like you guys already said, there's no character development. There's no excitement. There's no energy. When UA dies, there's nothing to it. You're just like, oh, her hair's blonde now, or her hair's not blonde anymore. Cool. All right, fine. It had a couple of decent moments, but it had way more misses in this case.
Right.
And what I think hurts me most about this is this movie could have been good. it could have actually been something that was really impressive. But at the end of the day, they tried to cram too much in for fan service.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let the storyline just develop. And, like I said, it's a disappointment. In this case, Derpy Gaming is losing my voice already. Derpy Gaming is giving it a 3 out of 10. So he's kind of on par to where basically the rest of us are in this particular case.
So simply by the fact that I don't have any pre-existing bias from the show, my score is the highest out of everybody.
That might be even worse then. That might be worse than what we had.
You're right.
I believe this movie's 10 years too early. The potential's there. CGI was good, but the story was okay. For what the characters were called by their actual name, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, for someone who was supposed to be so in love with the series, M. Night Shyamalan couldn't even get the pronunciation of the characters as the original voice actors said them.
I think your review of 4 out of 10, again, not knowing the source material as well, at all, really, I think is a bigger scathing indictment of this film than than the fans like we are giving it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't even work to bring in new people.
Right. For you seeing it for the first time, it's
Yeah.
kind of expected because sometimes when people are new to something and they see some excitement into it, they're like, okay, this is not bad. It was okay. But when they actually sit down and actually watch the series, they're probably like, I regret everything I said about this film. This film is hot garbage.
Yeah. So,
look, if the day ever comes where I have the time to actually sit down and watch the series, I will give you guys a full review of what I thought of the series, just to see if I've cooled on the movie and I can actually see it as being completely separate from it and how good the series may be. But again, this does not necessarily give me a lot of hope or faith in watching it because I feel like now I'm just going to be seeing all the little bits that were in the movie, but it's now going to take longer for me to get to those little bits. And I'm probably going to be like, oh my God, just get to the point.
Here's the other side, though. This is going to give you some hope. This only covers 1/3 of the Last Airbender story.
Yeah.
So
obviously, book 1, water, like they showed at the beginning of the movie.
So you still have stuff that you have no idea about.
Right.
Even beyond this. So you do have that to at least look forward to if you ever get to it.
Facts.
Right. I mean, obviously, there's still the earthbending stuff, even though we saw a little bit of earthbending, and earthbending looked weak as hell, but apparently no Toph. So that's going to be the key character. There's the budding friendship between Ong, Aang, and Zuko. That obviously goes into the Fire Nation and the firebending stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more that, given the proper amount of time, you build up to it, and expectations do get met. But again, it's just a matter of actually having the time and the ambition to want to go through that when there's so much more out there now. Maybe I won't watch the animated series, but maybe I will give the new live action series a good first run and see if that makes
you probably would anyway, but
see if I can actually palette it in a single series revamping.
I just don't want them to go Game of Thrones like I heard they were talking about doing. Some plans for the franchise, never having a sequel come together. Still remember those fan bait trailers.
Oh wow.
So
all right.
So I think we'll wrap this up at this point. We have to decide for a movie for next week. Ryan, no rush on this, but I picked the one last week. Davion picked the one this week. It's falling to your court now. What's next? And if you don't have an answer now, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like since it's been mentioned already a few times, we kind of have to watch Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
I knew he was going to say that. We all was thinking about it.
But if for some reason all three of us do not have the capability of watching that one, I will come up with something else. But since there's already been so much comparison made,
Top Gun? No, it's not. No, Top Gun.
No. I could make fun of Top Gun if I wanted to, but I feel like Hot Shots already did that well enough.
Also, this basically we're reviewing shitty movies, not good movies.
Right.
So Top Gun is a good film. We can do that on the side. That's fine. But for bad movie Beatdown, I feel like basically we'd probably get stoned for it, I think.
Yeah.
No, no.
Oh, you mean about the super gay volleyball scene and the the stuff on the motorcycle and all that nonsense and Goose
Kenny Loggins and
dying?
all that too, So
Again, Hot Shots did it better. So
Yeah.
can leave it at that.
Right.
Now, if you wanted to go ahead and watch Hot Shots and make fun of that,
no,
that would
you
have
don't
been
make
something else.
Hot Shots is classic. Both Hot Shot movies are great.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, it's like
for the sequel. Yeah, well, the sequel we have to check out at some point. But
obviously Top Gun is going to have to be watched
since the last one.
There's a whole generation that have never seen Top Gun, and yet this movie is coming out because you can't stop Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the kids are going to be looking. It's like that guy from the Mission Impossible movies did a movie about airplanes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they called it Top Gun Maverick. They could have just called it Maverick, and people might confuse it for the Mel Gibson movie,
which was also basically the series with James Garner.
Yes,
actually, Maverick the movie was good though. Richard Donner did a good job with that one.
Everybody's got a gun.
He who fights and runs away can run away another day.
Yes.
All right, so we'll figure this out. So maybe it will be Dragon Ball Evolution, for better or for possibly worse. Again, the best part of that movie was, for me, Chow Yun Fat. Happy birthday to him, 67 years old. I had someone pop the question to me on Twitter earlier. How the hell did he fire so many bullets out of that gun in the movie The Killers? Because back in the 80s and the 90s, nobody ever had to reload a gun ever in any movie. Just the bullets just magically just respawned.
Oh, well, I mean, it's Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, it was so cartoony. You could have a gun like that where it just keeps on doing that.
Wait, did you do Batman and Robin?
No,
not
we have
yet.
not.
No, not yet. Not yet. I feel like that's got to be a little bit of a special occasion sort of thing. Like, if something comes up with George Clooney or Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's when you do that.
Or the anniversary of the movie, because the movie turns 25 this year. Actually, you know what? Hang on.
Does it turn 25?
It's it was 1997. Yeah.
What month did it come out?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Because I mean, that would be something.
God, that would be
for the
perfect.
anniversary showing.
Batman and Robin. June 20th, 1997. And that is a Monday. Mm.
Oh, yeah. So we could do it.
Good
22nd.
Lord. I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we'll do that next month.
All right. That's a great idea. Oh, my. But see, here's my only problem. I drank 2/3 of a bottle of wine and did not feel a thing. My voice is just done. If we're going to do this movie
numbed you that much,
an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze drinking game or something like that, we're going to have something a little bit more wild, because I've been drunk.
Every time there's a pun.
Yeah,
every time there's some sort of pun,
let's kick some ice
pun or a plant pun or a bat pun, you have to take a drink.
Howard the Duck's not bad, but Howard the Duck was I don't know, embraced a little bit by virtue of the fact that he showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a possibility, though. Batman and Robin was a great idea. I think it's a phenomenal idea. So June 20th, 1997. Schumacher has already got
one of those things where I think it's so campy that it kind of like leans into itself. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad movie. I'd say it's a movie that didn't succeed.
Right.
But I wouldn't call it a bad movie because I think it pretty much met its own expectations.
Yeah.
Now, Marvel-wise, you'd have to talk about a movie that maybe was shooting for the stars and really fell flat. Kind of like
89
Daredevil.
Yeah.
I never miss. I don't know.
He's an Irishman.
The Dolph Lundgren Punisher could be possible there too.
No, I think that was really decent.
Okay.
Now, if we can find the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, that would be something else.
Oh, you know what? I have an idea on. What about the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury thing?
Oh, not bad.
God. Well, that was made for TV. Like, that's almost expected to be bad.
I'll count it.
All right, it could be counted.
What year was that? That was 1998. May 26, 1998.
We could do The Room.
We could do the Room, but The Room is one of those movies that's it's so bad it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's kind of like in that Rocky Horror Picture Show sort of vibe. If we're gonna knock on something, I want it to be like Mystery Science Theater 3000 sort of bad. It's just got to be a movie that they haven't done yet.
And that's where I think in this case, if we end up doing, we'll do Dragon Ball Evolution next week.
Oh, wait. The stuff.
They didn't do the stuff? I thought they did.
They did do the stuff?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's right there within that 80s realm where they would have been tackling it.
Well, we could do it.
Which, by the way, do you know the stuff, Scott?
I don't know the stuff.
Oh, wow.
So
it's a really bad horror film.
All right.
Yeah, think The Blob, but commercialized.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we'll do Dragon Ball Evolution next week. I think we're going to wrap this up because my voice, you can hear it in my voice. It's gone.
Yeah.
So a little raspy right now. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, all right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Davion. Thank you, Derpy Gaming. By the way, I think Batman and Robin's a phenomenal idea for next month. I love it.
If you're watching us, follow Derpy. If you're following Derpy, watch us.
Exactly. And if you're following both of us, hit
that
like, share, subscribe.
Do all the things that all the YouTubers tell you to do.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And also stream. You can find us at streampunkent.com.
Oh my God, yes, we have a website. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we've had the website for months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but we don't say it enough. We're always like on the other platforms. So
enjoy the series, but haven't seen the movie. Yeah. We just finished
Tyler,
it.
now you have a reason to watch the movie. Go ahead and queue it up on HBO Max, and you can watch it along with us. You can set the timer as for when we're going to start. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, press play, and we'll just watch the movie along with you, and we will make you hate it just as much as we do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Like
That's
I said,
the beauty of this kind of entertainment, man. It saves.
2/3 of a bottle of wine and a penguin cup was not enough for me to get through this movie.
I'm already done with the chips.
Nice. So
I'm out of coffee, so now I can fall asleep finally.
By the way, I think we may have one more comment coming in, one more suggestion. Let me just run with this one. So, but the worst video game adapt of all time. I mean, Super Mario Brothers. I'm thinking.
No, I wouldn't put Super Mario there.
Oh, well, yeah, the one that started it all, the one where Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo took tequila shots between takes to get through it.
Really? So, no, because that came the same time as Mortal Kombat. Wait, was it Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
No, in literal order, it was Super Mario Brothers, then Street Fighter, then Mortal Kombat. It was one after the other.
Gotcha. Because
I remember Nintendo Power had a lot of stuff on the Super Mario Brothers movie, including like behind the scenes stills, and then after the movie was released, they never talked about it again.
It wasn't. Oh, we could do Super Mario Brothers.
I own that one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll add it to the list. So, I feel in some ways eventually this is going to become like live shows. We're just going to like basically go into a theater and just, raise money for a charity and just like watch shit movies in the theater. I think it'll be real easy.
Yeah, that would be
interesting. Just give us a couple of speakers for our own mics so this way you can still hear the movie and hear us.
Oh, yeah. Or put subtitles in the movie so they can at least read it, kind of like we've been doing.
Oh, please. People in theaters don't read subtitles. That's why foreign movies do so bad in American theaters.
Depending on what type of foreign film it is.
Most foreign films, when I go to them, no one's ever in the theater. And that's just because people don't want to read the subtitles.
The average person,
and it's a shame.
Subtitles are required. My wife hates subtitles. I love them, but I watch it for everything I do. But she hates every one of them.
Now, I say this knowing that once I leave here, I am going to Crunchyroll and I am going to watch some dubbed anime because just as a voice actor, I want to show respect to the people that have put in the effort.
Well, I respect that. What anime? Be careful here. And yes, also.
Oh wow!
I own that one too. Yes.
Yes. Wow.
That's got just so much trouble and backstage.
Ryan, what anime are you watching the dub of?
Currently, aside from the other animes which are still in subtitle.
Naniga Mitera Mosca.
Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
Konnichiwa.
Nandayo Miterum ka.
Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
I don't know that one. Okay. I was waiting for you to be like, I'm watching the 4Kids version of One Piece.
No. I'm watching one of those animes that would categorize me in a certain realm of fan for watching it.
Fan favorite?
Definitely fan service. Lots of fan service.
Always put subtitles. Yes, I did that. I'm already watching Stranger Things right now, and I got the subtitles on. You know, I just, by the way, I just
can I say it? Can I say it?
I finished episode 8, season 2. What's that?
Can I say it, Ryan? Can I call you? Can I call it to you? Can I call it to you?
You can say it, but technically it's not that.
So it's not for
my wa hentai desu ka? Doom.
Technically it's not.
Dude, we're getting like a laundry list of movies here.
No. I found one far more worse. Oh my God, I found one. No, not Doom. Not Doom. Doom Evolution. Doom Evolution was the worst thing ever. Oh my God. Doom Evolution was the worst movie ever on Netflix. Oh my God. The one where they had Doomslayer as a female. Oh my God. That I was like, I watched this. It just recently came out. It was during the pandemic. Oh my God.
Okay, but is it based off of the new games?
No.
Next week we'll be doing Doom Evolution.
We'll be doing some evolution. I don't know which evolution, but we're doing an evolution.
Dragon Ball Evolution,
or Doom Evolution, just to see Day's reaction again and have him act like he's doing his best Shemp impression from the Three Stooges.
Evil Dead. Okay, Evil Dead.
No, Tyler. No, can't do Evil Dead because Evil Dead is a movie that knows it's schlocky and builds into it. When we talk about bad movies, we're talking about movies that were trying to be something, trying to be good, trying to be, a popular franchise leading into something, and just flopped out the gate.
Doom Annihilation. My bad. Doom Annihilation.
Okay.
Which, of course, opens up Mortal Kombat Annihilation, too. Yeah, that to the list.
Oh, God, yes. No. Okay, that's
you're alive.
That's
too bad you will die.
It shits on the original.
Yeah, the whole idea
if you watch Doom Annihilation, is so... It's so bad.
The idea
it's
of bad
worse
movie
than the Doom with The Rock. You start appreciating a little bit of that film.
And like we mentioned last
week, if you want to go like bad movies, like I'm talking more like The Tooth Fairy. That's a bad movie.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, because they were trying to do something with The Rock, and it did not work. And for the longest time, that was like the thorn in The Rock's side as far as an acting career goes. That was his black mark. That was the part where it's like, you've done some good action stuff, but then you did Tooth Fairy. You know.
All right, so we'll add it to the list. Thank you for the list, by the way. I appreciate all that. Thank you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you have any suggestions for movies out there, go ahead, put them in the comments, send an email to us. Let us know in the DMs if you happen to have that connection to us. Let us know what movies you want us to shit on, because I am so down with all of that.
I'm down too, so we could just basically talk mad smack about those films.
If you want me to make sure that these movies never have children, let me know so I can talk about them.
You'd always drop me an email there to tellsfromthefilms at Gmail.
Email your suggestions right down there.
Yeah. I had a typo as far as the capital.
This is going to be
look at poor Ang. Look at poor Ang, and see how sad he is. If you make that face when you think about a movie, that's the movie we want to see.
Right there. Wait, wrong way. Right there.
If you see that face, look at that face. Look at that poor little boy's face. Look at the despair in his eyes.
Ryan, wait.
That's the movie we want.
No, right. Wait. For every film you basically give us to basically talk shit about, Ang will pretty much share a tier for every film you send us to. And it's only cost you just a mention and subscription and subscribe. And
in the arms of the angles far away from here.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.